Welcome back to the second stanza of the program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. I still have with me in the studio Comrade Razak Olokoba, a public affairs analyst on The Conversation. We are going to look at one area that has affected every Nigerian as well as the whole world, the issue of food inflation that is affecting us most especially. You know, we are in the festive period, we're in December. And when growing up as a young boy, whenever December knocks on the door, we're always thinking about Christmas rice and chicken. That's the only thing we know about. But if you look at our situation today, the food inflation has decimated the pocket of many homes, such that people are crying left, center, right, and what have you. The cost of food inflation in Nigeria is not far-fetched. Climate change, like we discussed in the other stanza, is also part of the reason. But we believe strongly that, was it Chief Obafemi Awolowo that made the quote that, or I think a philosopher that, any country or any people that is not food sufficient hasn't gotten independence. That for you to be independent, you must be food sufficient. And if we look at our country, Nigeria, for example, we have been very blessed by the Almighty, such that we have the capacity to produce what we eat.
You are correct. Our own case, 50% of our own challenge is man-made. I completely agree with you that climate change has thoroughly affected food production all over the world. You are right. My own addition to it is that we have to change our attitude and character. First, federal government needs to give all states a matching order. A matching order in the sense that all states must be producing something. Every state in this country has a capacity to produce one thing or the other. It's either tomato or yam. But because
the federal government has declared the emergency in the food sector.
It must be compulsory.
I think the states must be.
It must be compulsory, and that is why the notion that we should not be tying allocation that is coming from Abuja to something, I think is wrong. It must be tied to compulsory education, that we must reflect, your budget in the state must reflect your education. It must reflect agriculture. Like I have said, if you don't have sufficient food in your country, you are not independent. There's no responsible country that will not subsidize agriculture.
Absolutely.
That's why I said it's 50% our fault.
Yeah.
When you practice agriculture in a primitive manner, with cutlass and hoe, our children that has gone to school to study, they will not go to school. They will end up in studios like you, or in the banks, or somewhere else to do something else. But agriculture has gone beyond that. One, you must subsidize it and make it more fascinating.
More attractive.
There are people who do agriculture now with ties and no suits.
Yes.
Because there are tractors that have air conditioning in them too now. So all these things are expensive, but it must be subsidized.
And you know, the beauty of it all is that
I farm. I study the German model. I study the American model because I want to know how they rear their cattle without taking it
that
to
it becomes that big.
And without taking it to the biggest people's farm. So, and I had an inkling of how they do it. I learned that the electricity is subsidized, the land they use, the water they use. You will love to be a farmer. We have similar law here. And that is why FRSC needs to do more advocacy on that. Anything that is food should not be taxed. If you have a water factory, if you have anything, it's about food. Your taxes
should be low.
It's low. The law is in the law, but many people don't know. It's in the law. Many people bring bills to me for tax and say, "Me, you want to tax me? Do you know such section of the law?" So most of those things are our fault. My dear brother, the last thing is we must be ready to eat our food.
Very important. We must
be ready to eat our food.
Very, very important.
Someone said it on a platform, and I quickly warned him that we can't go through what China go through before they go to where to go to. And I told them that anybody that says that we are not going to bear some brunt before we overcome this,
no pain,
the
no
person
gain.
is deceiving you.
No, just like we say in our no pain,
no gain. The person is deceiving you to say that we are not going to sacrifice
go through some
to be
inconveniences.
able to eat our stone rice,
Yes.
to be able to eat our yam and some of those things.
Yes.
We are deceiving ourselves. So if you want food sufficient, let us be ready for that sacrifice. Let's eat our product. Another 10 years we're out of it. And that's why the president must play a role. He needs to give that matching order. Your state must be known for something. Just like some states are known for yam.
Some states are known for onions.
Some states are known for pepper.
Cassava.
Lagos is known for fish.
Somebody even told me that the Ogbomoso
Mango.
Ekiti Axis, that they are cashew.
Yes.
That is the best in the world.
In the world. Mango and cashew.
Can you imagine?
So it's man-made. We are so lucky that many food you see us eating, it's not in the industrial scale. It's just individual.
The subsistence farming.
Yeah, it's just.
And we are producing that
quantity. So
you can imagine.
we'll be feeding the whole of West Africa. So
in fact, let me even tell you.
That's why they should learn from Lagos.
No, let me even tell you. I watched a national television where, following the coup in Niger Republic, ECOWAS closed borders against the coup plotters. And I got to understand that the amount of onions that we produce in Sokoto State alone feeds the whole West Africa.
Yes.
So when former President Muhammadu Buhari constructed the rail line through Maradi,
Niger, I said it that
people didn't realize the economic benefits.
He said the first you want to pay visit to Niger
president. Can you imagine?
It is not. It's not. It's part of it. And the earlier we learn what is called industrial farming, the better for us, so that all those onions will be able to preserve it.
Post-harvest losses.
Yes.
Is critical for the farmer.
Another angle is that you see learned person like me and you talking about all those rural areas, what is their use? And I say, why are you talking like this? It is the rural areas that keeps the urban center alive.
Of course, they supply the urban center.
That's where our raw materials come from. As a chartered public administrator, it's a whole course on its own, rural area, rural administration, such that people don't know the value. But we'll run into crashes very soon. If you don't give them lights, if you don't give them road, if you don't subsidize all this that you are supposed to give to them.
These were things we were taught when we were in secondary school.
Secondary school, yes.
Rural-urban migration. How do you curb rural-urban migration? What are... If the facilities are there. If the facilities are there, a lot of people won't come to the city.
I got to a farm in America between Philadelphia and the New York. I mean, I don't know where the spot. I don't know America so much. But if you see the land, the man is not interested in living in New York. Unlike here, where people are.
Everybody wants to come to Lagos. Wants to go to Abuja.
To River, and living. And you can't blame them.
Of course, it's natural for you to see
when you travel and you see farmers on the road, it's a pitiable sight.
In fact, I attended the function, and some of the farmers that came there said Nigeria should go and look at history. That in other parts of the world, that you see the rail line corridor, they are all farms.
Yes.
But here in Nigeria, it's the opposite.
It's opposite.
So I think we need to take these good lessons and start emulating them so that our life
learn how to subsidize agriculture. We should be the food basket of the whole of
Of course. The present administration, just like its predecessor, from reports from farmers, is subsidizing the provision of fertilizer by over 50%. So which is good.
And states should play more roles.
Absolutely, I agree.
So you should give all the states a matching order. You must be producing something. Lagos is producing.
We must commend Lagos State government for the rice mill in Imota.
As small as the land is.
Yes.
What about Niger State? Niger State is also improving.
That has the largest land mass.
The whole of Niger State is twice the size of the whole of Southeast. Twice the size of Southeast as a region.
I think Niger State has there's this problem of security, banditry. That we need.
It's because we are not making use of our land.
We also don't forget that climate change has contributed in no small measure to those criminal.
Gaddafi turned desert into Greenland. All those flooding that are coming all the way, it can be dammed. You dam it in all those states. You can dam it to preserve it for dry season
for
and irrigation and farmers. That's why I said it's man-made. We don't have anything with hunger in Nigeria.
Honestly.
Nothing to do with hunger at all.
We don't have anything to
So
complain
that
about.
flooding should be a blessing to us as it is
blessing.
coming. We should just be damming it in
Damming
all
the
the
water.
states. Create a very solid dam in each state for it. Run the pipe, big pipes to all those states. In fact, it should be that flood should be coming every 3 months because we need the water. It's clean water. That water is clean water. If you use it, it's clean water for drinking, for farming.
Comrade Olokoba, thank you very much for your submission on the program today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for staying tuned to the conversation on TV 360. We want to thank Comrade Olokoba for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Comrade Olokoba, for being with us on the conversation today. Till we come your way again next time, please continue to watch the conversation on TV 360. Bye-bye.